You're obviously serious about improving your English, and I'm sure you'll learn something tonight. So I'd like to welcome all of you, and I've got some of my clients here, so you're going to test my my resolve. So that's really exciting. Okay, so first of all, as you listen, please make notes of anything that you didn't understand, or if I said something that wasn't clear, and then you can ask me at the end. Okay, so can I ask everyone to please mute your microphones through the whole talk, and at the end, hopefully everyone will be able to unmute and ask any questions, okay, about what we spoke about, or about anything else. Maybe you really need to know how to say something, or whether something you're saying is right. You are more than welcome to ask, and I will try my best to answer everybody. You can type your question in the chat, or you can wait and speak. I would love to hear you speak. Don't be scared. Okay. So yeah, let's get going. So for those that don't let me share my screen. So for those that don't know me, my name is Anne Walton, and I help accountants and business people improve. So can you please, if you've got your video on, can you nod your head and tell me that you can see the screen clearly? Yes? Okay, good. Just want to check, because I've not really done Zoom with so many people, so it's very exciting. Okay, so my name is Anne Walton. I have I've helped many accountants and business people improve their job performance, secure future opportunities, and help them to become more confident with their English. So I'm here to empower you to improve your language skills and to support everyone who believes they can be better with their professional communication proficiency. So I've been working in accounting for over 30 years. I stopped counting at 30, so somewhere over that. I'm an experienced English teacher and a coach. I have a CELTA and a master's education. So I can relate to the challenges of business people and accountants, because I've been involved with both. So I can understand the pressures of being an accountant, and I can understand the difficulties of those that want to become more confident in their English. So I really am uniquely placed to help you. I have over 10,000 connections on LinkedIn at the moment. It's actually more than that, because I made these slides a few weeks ago. Example, Alberto was one of my first clients. He was very, he was not confident to speak. He thought his English was bad. We worked together. By the end of it, he was so much more confident. He's pursuing his studies, he's registered for more exams, and he's looking forward to a successful career. So I just want to show you some more happy clients that I have. I'm not going to, if you want to see these, what my clients say, you're more than welcome. They are on my profile in LinkedIn. You know, if you go down, I think it's called recommendations or something like that. So my motives for this, in our very small time we have together, is to give you the strategies to make an impact on your career and your life. My aim is to create confidence where there's uncertainty, to shatter confusion, to show you exactly what to do and how to do it, and to unlock the potential within you. Okay. If we can't do all of that, at least there's one thing I know I can do for you, and that's make you that little bit better at English in our short little time. But this is a two-way street. Okay. I'm going to give you my absolute best because I have faith that you will actually use what I share with you. Nothing pains me more or hurts me deeper than someone encountering a life-changing idea and letting it just go to waste. So I'm going to give you my best, and in return, I'm going to ask you to commit. Yeah. And I'm asking you right now to make this yours and to do something with this, because otherwise I've wasted my time. You know, make a commitment to yourself. So yeah, because you know, right now what you think becomes your reality. So you need to think about what you're going to think about in this video and what you're going to take from it. I don't want you to switch off and go back, and I want you to take something from this. Okay, so is it okay for us to move forward with this in place? So don't just nod your head, yeah, but actually prove it. Type yes in the chat. Show me that you are going to do something with this. Yes, can I see some in the chat? Yes. Okay, excellent. All right, great. Okay, so now let's, yeah, no good if you're not going to do anything, right? So let's talk about what gets in the way of your progress. Okay, what's stopping you from advancing your English? Yeah. So the first thing is money. Yeah. So even if you don't have a lot of money, I can show you why it's important to be resourceful. So resourceful means thinking about being creative, yeah, about how and what you do about money. So many people have never really invested in their own development, yeah, but you need to invest, yeah. If you don't invest in taking yourself beyond where you are now, you're either saying you're okay with where you are, or you don't think you're capable of improving, of becoming better. Do you agree? Does everyone agree with me? Good. Like to see some nodding heads. Okay, so let's go on to the next one, time. So this is, I think, is one of the biggest challenges of all. Okay, so my time as an English teacher has taught me that people are either good at reaching their language goals, or they're good at making excuses. Yeah, but they're never good at both. So you need to pick one. Yeah, understand that you find yourself most likely in a situation today where time is a challenge, right? I don't think there's anyone that doesn't. Or if you do, lucky you. In fact, the less time you have, the more you'll love this approach, yeah, to improving your English. Not only is it made with you in mind, but it'll give you free time. Yeah, so when you don't have much time, that's when you'll find it's the best time to follow my suggestions, okay? Then the next thing is ability. You may be thinking, oh, what if my English isn't so good to start with? What if no matter how I try, it's too hard for me to learn? Yeah, I get it. The thing to remember about this is that if only native speakers succeeded, right, then native speakers would be the only ones with jobs in international companies. So I'm not saying it won't be a challenge. However, as we go through today, I want you to make notes, okay? When I show you something, simply ask yourself, do I feel I could do this? Yeah, at one point in time, you couldn't walk, you couldn't talk, you couldn't even go to the bathroom by yourself, but you learned, right? And why? Because you wanted to. Simple as that. Yeah, this is a lot easier than all of that. Yeah, especially when I uncover for you the shortcuts you can make to the process. Okay, right, next one is confusion. Yeah, now as much as I'd like to think I'm the only one you are looking at right now to help you improve your English, I'm sure you are being pulled 1,000 different ways by 1,000 different people, with 1,000 different ways to learn. And on the surface, a lot of them probably look pretty good. Plus, you're probably thinking, if I do go forward with this system, where do I start? Can I if this? Can I if that? I get it. If you are clear, then if it were clear to you already, you'd be doing it. So yeah, this is another thing that can get in your way. Just like Alberto, right? If he can do it, you can do it. That I can promise you. So, and the last one, the biggest, after time or before time or at the same time as time. This is the biggest of all, because whether you realize it or not, I get it. It's scary to go out of your comfort zone to speak English when you feel you're not good. And the easiest thing you can do is what you've always done. But you and I both know, if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. You agree with me? Nod your head. Type yes in the chat box. Yeah. So you have to overcome the fear, or live with it. Be afraid anyway, right? So you could be thinking, what if I mess up? What if I make a mistake? What if I do something wrong? Well, yeah, you're going to. You probably will. You will make mistakes. I love mistakes because that's how you learn, you know. So I'm just asking you to think about this. You don't need to set aside your fear. I just want you to make your motivation bigger than your fear. Yeah. So you have to really be brave and strong. Yeah. And overcome the fear. But I want you to declare to me right now that fear isn't going to keep you poor at English, right? So if you can type in the chat box, that would help. Yes, I'm not going to. Yeah, you can do that. So if I could take you into the future, to the exact point where you've mastered everything, I want you to just for a moment, just think that you can do that. You can reach that goal. So what I'm going to share with you now, okay, so I'm going to show you how you can understand native speakers. And I'm going to, sorry, some people are still coming in. I'm going to show you how you can understand native speakers. I'm going to show you ways to study English, what works and what doesn't work. And I'm going to show you how to do all of that, right? How to minimize your time. We spoke about time, and how to maximize your efficiency. Okay, so these are the same strategies that I have given all my clients and given them the confidence to take that next step in their career, or even just speak more in their day-to-day business lives. So these don't work for everyone, okay? I'm telling you now, but they will work if you're willing to take the time to find usable solutions, yeah? And to invest real time in making this happen for yourself. Okay, let's get going. Don't forget to make notes, okay? So you can ask questions at the end, okay? Right, so do you feel frustrated when you can't understand native speakers? You're like, feel angry that you've been working on your English skills for so long and you still can't understand them? You feel frustrated and disappointed in yourself. I'm just trying to relate to people here, right? And you just give up hope, right? You just shut down. You shut down. And that's really not good. Your confidence takes a dive. Oh, I hope you like my graphic. Confidence takes a dive. Okay. So the best way to learn English is by listening to others and copying them, right? Especially native speakers. But if you can't understand them to start with, how are you going to learn? Right? It's this problem. So learning to understand fluent speakers will not only help you improve your English, but it will boost your confidence because you're like, yeah, no, not so bad. I can do this. Yeah. Okay. So what goes through your head when you're struggling to understand someone? Yeah. First of all, you think, oh, they're speaking too fast. Too many words. I don't have the vocabulary. I don't know what they're speaking about. So you shut down. Yeah. That's what you think. Don't have the vocabulary. Yeah. You also thinking, oh, I don't want to ask to repeat again. They're going to think I'm stupid, or they're going to think I don't know my job, or I can't do this. I feel not confident to ask them again to repeat. Yeah. So let's think about what happens when you try to study a new language. Yeah. First, you learn words, this word, that word, vocabulary, and you put them in a little book or a translator. Yeah. And you learn them. Yeah. And then you try and listen for those words when someone is speaking. Or when you're listening, you try to listen for new words and then translate them. But it's word, 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 right? And then you translate them back into your own language and then you try to make sense. But the problem is that's not how we speak. Okay. We do not say one word at a time so you can understand. It doesn't work. Yeah, that's not how we speak. Yeah. We speak in what we call speech units. So little clips at a time. Yeah. And each speech unit are said without a break in between. So we do all sorts of things to do that. And that's what we're going to look at now, and things that you can listen for, right? So we speak in units. We speak in units. We speak in units. That's what it kind of sounds like. Could be one word. Maybe it's a really long English word. We speak in units. Yeah. So this is the problem, because what you are thinking is one word could possibly be 2 or 3 or 4 words all joined together in different ways. Okay, so let's look at a few. Yeah. One of them is we attach the sound at the one end of the word to the beginning of the next word so that there's no break. Okay, and this is called connected speech. Yeah, so let's have a look at some examples. So the first one, same consonant sound. So some milk. I'm not saying the M twice. Yeah, I'm going some milk, not some milk. Yeah, because they've got the same, the one ends in the same sound, starts with the next sound. It's just one. I just say the M once, some milk. glorious sunshine, half full, half full. Yeah. Another thing we do is when the one word ends in a consonant and the next one starts in a vowel, we actually put the consonant sound onto the next word. Yeah. So one evening, one evening, one evening, one evening, a serious accident, the exact opposite. Yeah. Another one, we put in sounds. So now to make sure we don't have that gap, if our mouth wants to do that, we don't. We make a sound to join them together. So who is it? Yeah, who is it? Go away, go away. Can you see it? Yet, can you see it? It's completely empty. Yeah. So now it's not what you think. You're not hearing it's completely empty. You're hearing it's completely empty. Yeah. So, yeah. Lots of things going on, and they're not because you don't know the words. Yeah. Another thing we do is we shorten our vowels. Okay, this is my favorite topic. Of those that you're my clients, you'll know. I love talking about this. So basically, we are lazy, right? English speakers are lazy. I think in everyone's language, you know, unless you have to really give a speech or something, we don't pronounce our words properly. So when it comes to vowel sounds, right, you want to hear a or and o and yeah, and o, but you don't. You just hear It's called the lazy sound. Yeah. Let's look at some examples. You'll be able to understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Not pleasant, pleasant. Yeah. Let's look at another with an E. Not problem, problem. Yeah. Not freedom, freedom. Yeah. All sorts of things going on. Yeah. So this is very difficult for language learners to get, and you won't get it completely. Yeah. But different accents use it in different places, right? But if you want to reduce your accents, you've got to try and use it a little bit where you can. Yeah, it's really, really important. And there'll be some places where you definitely need to use it. And others doesn't matter. To bring in your own accent is nice. It's traditional. It's who you are. But you do need to try and do it. So here's the secret about this, right? If you can incorporate these pronunciation techniques into your own speaking, then you'll be able to hear it, and you'll be able to understand those native speakers who you think are speaking too fast. They're not always. They're just joining their words together. I can speak really slowly and still join all my words together. So yeah, that's it. Right, so I'm just going to pause for a minute in case you want to write down some questions for later on. Okay, good. Oh, people still coming in. Right, let's go on. What are you going to do? Remember, we spoke about that commitment to doing something, right? That's what I want from you. So I want you to start listening to native speakers. Listen for schwa and connected words. See if you can find some, and then copy them, repeat after them, imitate them. Yeah, and try to do it. Once you've tried it yourself, you'll see. Yeah, and then try to use it. Just, you won't do all of them, but if you can just find a couple, maybe the O's, freedom, London, just O's. Okay, every time there's a O, I'm hearing schwa, London, freedom. Yeah, so try and incorporate them in a few of your words that you use. Yeah. And then my favorite subject, actually before schwa, this one, practice, practice, practice. Then schwa, it's my next favorite subject. So it's all about practice and control, and it's really hard. It's really hard, and but just a little steps. Just find schwa in a couple of things. I'm repeating myself. Okay, good. Let's go on. Right. So let's look at different ways to study English. Yeah. So I've asked some of my clients, or not my clients because they're not, but accountants, right? What's preventing you from achieving your English language goals on your own? Yeah. So some of them have tried self-study, and they've said, well, it's too difficult to study on my own. Yeah. I lose motivation quickly. I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered, sitting there on your own. Some of them say I don't have enough time to practice or the opportunity to practice with someone. Some say, oh, no, I've got no one to give me any feedback. Yeah. And some just don't know where to start. Yeah. And they just don't know what to study. Yeah. Some of them go to English classes and I say, well, yeah, this was difficult to commit, right? It's the same time every day, not every day, same time every week on an ongoing basis, right? It's hard to commit to that when you've got family and jobs and life and, everything else. Progress is slow in general English classes, right? Because you've got to go with what everybody's doing. You don't really know where you're going. You kind of know you're going to get better at English, but not really what you need. Yeah. And in this day and age, hopefully I can take this line out. And it's not possible to, have proper lessons, or it wasn't anyway, So others have tried to study on the internet. Yeah. Watching YouTube videos, things like that. Yeah. And they wonder, why they're not making progress. So they think it's because they don't know how to study. It's not. Some people think they're not good at languages. Nobody's not good at languages. It's not a thing, in my opinion. They're just simply too busy to justify the sacrifice. Some of them even say they're getting too old, and that I will never accept. So yeah, it's just people just feel that there's this big thing between like where they want to be now, where they want to be and where they are now. But actually, it's none of these things, right? It's because as busy accountants, you're doing an outdated approach. You need a different perspective. You need to change. Everything's changing, right? Everything in the whole way we work, everything we're doing and the way we're doing it is different. And we need to approach this in a different way as well. Yeah. So what you really need to do, right? If you're in business or, I'm not sure everybody here is accountants. I'm assuming most of you are. But if you're a business person, you really need to focus on what you need for your job and your career prospects, right? You need to set a specific goal, yeah, something you can measure, yeah, based on what you use. So your goal could be, oh, I'm going to be able to speak to my boss confidently, or the next presentation, I'm going to use all the right words and I'm not going to panic, or whatever. A nice goal. Then you need to find the specific materials to help with that. Yeah. And you need to set a date for this. You can't just be like English lessons. Oh, one day, maybe if it's nice, I'll do it. Yeah. And this is the most important, you need to take responsibility for this goal, not expect a teacher to tell you this information, but rather be guided to get the information for yourself. That's how the world is now, right? The internet can teach us everything. Yeah. So, but it's your job to make sure you do it for yourself. Yeah. So let me give you an analogy. Let me give you a imagine you want to go somewhere. It's very specific by a very specific time. Yeah. So you can go by bus or you can go by car. Now, if you go by bus, yeah, you'll get there. You will have to travel by the bus timetable. You'll have to travel with other people who don't necessarily want to go where you want to go, right? You will be taken around the streets, going this way and that to places that you don't need to go, right? But you're on the bus, so you have to. And the time you get there depends on how many stops the bus has to make along the way. So it's not really your time, it's the bus says. This is like session-based learning, right? So going to language schools, trying to learn online. I call this session-based learning. So it's kind of like going on a bus, right? You just hope you know you'll get there eventually, but you don't know how long. Now, session-based learning, there's no focus on what you need. Okay. The route you take is not necessarily going to take you where you want to go with session-based learning. Yeah. In the most efficient way. Then let's say you choose to go by car. Okay. So with a car, you can plan the route directly where you want to go and make sure you get there in the shortest time, right? You can plot. Now we have got nice phones that tell us the quickest way and how to get up, avoid traffic and things. It's very good. You can be more certain that you'll get to your exact destination, right? Especially if you've got a sat nav. You'll decide if and where you want to stop along the way. If you want to have a break, you can decide your own program. So your journey is more structured around what you need, right? So you are more in control and you have a start point and an end point because we spoke about a goal, right, earlier. And most of all, the most important thing is you know how you're going to get there and when you're going to get there. Obviously, if you take responsibility for yourself and stick to your own commitments, right? So this is like program-based learning. So it's a program that's structured to your personal needs, right? It's that new perspective we were talking about. Yeah. So in program-based learning, you decide what you need to learn, how you're going to acquire the knowledge, how much effort you're willing to put in. You can put in a little, do something once a month, or you can do something every day. You will make the progress that you need. Yeah. So you will decide when you want to reach the goal. Yeah. So with program-based learning, you choose what you want to study and make it specific to you. So what will happen is your brain will more easily retain, you will remember more because you're learning what you know you need, right? Because then your brain will be like, oh, I might need to use this with my colleagues tomorrow. How am I going to remember? And you make yourself remember because you need to and you want to. Yeah. You have a set structure. You can see the end. So you will stay motivated. If you're like, okay, I'm going to be finished this in 3 months, you stay motivated because it's only 3 months, right? Then you can set a time frame, your own time frame to achieve your goals, right? So basically, you are in control of your learning. So, in other words, in this day and age, when we need to control our most precious resource, time. Yeah, we spoke about time. You need a more structured approach to our learning. We need an approach where we're only dependent on ourselves for our progress, right? So program-based learning is the only method of learning that works when you have limited time to devote to something which is so important to your career and prospects. Yeah. So now you need to think about this program, right? How am I going to make this program so that I can become the best communicator I can be, right? So that's what we're going to look at next. Yes, okay. So I'm going to give you 3 easy steps to make your program, okay? So the most important thing is focus. I think hopefully I'm getting that message across. Focus, focus, focus on your particular needs. Yeah, get that done, you know, work it out. Why? Because if it's not relevant and focused to what you need, you're going to forget it. And then you've wasted that time. Yeah, what the time you use studying needs to be focused and it needs to be important. Then you will remember. Yeah, you'll get bored as well. You'll lose motivation and the whole thing falls apart, right? You've wasted all your time. So let's think of it like making a cake. Like, I'd love to make a cake like that. So you need 3 things, right? Just like making a cake, you need the ingredients. So the ingredients is like your vocabulary, right? So you need to find the relevant vocabulary that you need. What phrasal verbs and idioms are appropriate for me? Yeah. Having a focus on what you need that directly determines how successful your language learning will be, right? Then you need a recipe that shows you how to use all of that, right? Same, how to put all those words together. So you need, in your language learning, it's using the words in the right combination. Sometimes it's not even difficult words, it's just phrases that you learn to use, right? But also learning the right intonation for the right different cultures and different people that you'll be speaking to. And then lastly, we need a baker. So that's you, yeah? And that's the most important thing, and this is you, right? To be able to speak English professionally, you need to be like a star baker. And the only way you're going to become a star baker is by that P word again, practice. Yeah, you'll need to make that cake a few times before, and you'll probably have a few flops, right? That's what we call it in English. When a cake doesn't do well, we say it flops. Yeah, same as you will in your English. You will make mistakes, right? It's okay, because the only way you're going to get better and make that perfect cake, speak that perfect English, is by doing it. Yeah. The number of accountants who want to improve their English and have all 3 is very small. Yeah. So if you're looking for a proven system that'll help you become more professional and fluent, become a better listener, improve your career prospects, you need to follow these steps. Okay. This is going to help you become more confident, more happy. Yeah, that's what we want. We don't want to be unhappy and miserable when trying to speak English. So to recap, you need to learn the vocabulary. You need to learn how to use the intonation and pronunciation so that you can get it right. And then you need to practice, 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 practice in as many different places as you can, right? Pretend, talk to yourself, find a colleague, talk in the mirror, talk in the shower, wherever. Yeah, it's the most important thing. Yeah. So let's just go into a little bit more detail. So you need to learn the vocabulary for your job and your circumstances, right? You must have the right vocabulary, phrasal verbs, and collocations for your particular audience. So different people you'll talk to in different ways. Yeah. Yeah, I've put 3 here, but yeah, business idioms, natural just phrases. Yeah. You need to consider how your clients will interpret what you're saying, right? Based on their culture and background. This is also important. For example, British people are very sensitive. You'll be very careful with your words. And I'm not totally British, so I am allowed to say that. So, for example, when explaining a complex point, how do you do it without, making them feel bad? Or highlighting discrepancies or errors. How do you say that? How do you do that? Without causing conflict. Yeah. And then more detail, intonation, pronunciation, and clarity. Yeah. So you must make sure your pronunciation is clear and fine-tuned, but that doesn't mean pronouncing each word. It actually means using schwa and things like that, right? You need to make sure that you don't get misunderstood. A tone can make a difference to how someone understands you. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. And you need to apply those fluency techniques that I gave you in the last section of this, right? That's how you're going to make this all happen, right? And that's how you are going to get more confidence. It's all tied together. It's like I wish I could say everything at the same time, but I have to do it bit by bit, right? And then finally, my P word again, practice, practice, practice. So you need to take those words that you've learned and that are important to you, and you need to take the clarity and the intonation and the pronunciation techniques, right? And you need to use them. They're not yours until you've used them. They might be in your head, but they are not yours until you have used them. It's so important. If you can't use them to other people, you have to say it aloud to yourself. It's no good just putting them in your head. You have to speak. You have to make mistakes. It's all okay. It's funny. You can't do one without the other. Yeah, so you can try on the phone, in your one-to-one meetings, your group meetings, face-to-face and individual, whatever, every opportunity you can. Yeah, find a colleague, have lunch once a week. Find a colleague to meet on Zoom once a week just to speak. Reach out in the LinkedIn group. If you put in a message there that you're looking for someone to practice with, maybe somebody will respond. Be fantastic. I'm hoping to start my own community soon, but that's where everybody is at the moment. It's coming soon. I don't want to say too much more about that right now. So when you follow these steps in a systematic way, by developing a program focused on what's relevant to you, you will be that confident professional you are, okay? Just like my clients do. Right, so I'm going to just pause for 1 minute because I just want to give you some time to, if you want to write some notes. If anybody has anything they want to write down, to remember to ask me at the end. We're nearly finished. Okay, everybody okay? Let's go on. So now the question is, are you going to carry on as you were, doing the same things in the same way? Or are you going to implement these suggestions? I want you to answer that now to yourself, like, nah, can't be bothered, or yes, it's important. I want to get this. I want to do this. Yeah. Are you going to implement them? I hope so. Okay. So it's absolutely critical that you get all 3 steps done correctly. And I refer to this as cracking the code. Yeah. So only when you have completed these 3 steps, all of them are just as important. Can you crack the code and be that confident speaker that you want to be, like my clients do, right? So right now you have 2 options. Yeah. You can do this the hard way, try to guess the code to unlock your success. And did you know there are 10,000 possible combinations to a 4-digit lock? And who knows, maybe you'll find a combination that works in a year or 2, maybe 3, maybe never, maybe you'll be lucky. Yeah. So, or you can do it the easy way, the smart way, and just get the code, right, to unlock and get those results. That's what I do all day. I decipher your code and I unlock it for you. Yeah.